Ultimately, Chris is a walking miracle. It's a survival rate of less than 10%.
I was technically dead for 27 minutes. I was driving along the road from Redruth to Portreath, and in the middle of the road I must have had the cardiac arrest. But amazingly, on a road just really after lockdown, so it was very quiet. The first car that turned up were two RNLI lifeguards. The next one behind that was a ex-paramedic.
I saw Chris's van. I just thought it was bad parking, or that one of the wheels had locked up or something. And then me and Graham drove past it and just poked our heads over, and you could see Chris just leaning over. So then we pulled over and attempted to get him out.
And what they did as a team, before the ambulance turned up or anything, they'd broken the window of the cab that I was in. They dragged me out onto the road, in the middle of the road, and started giving me compressions.
Our initial role when we arrived on scene was to integrate ourselves into the already amazing team that were working with Chris. So we had members of the public, we had the RNLI, we had members of the ambulance service, all fighting really hard to try and save Chris's life.
What the guys from the air ambulance managed to do was get a faint pulse, and they then put me on ice, really, as good as, until I got to the hospital.
Chris's heart started beating again at 11:30, and our role kind of changed at that point. We had to prioritise the effort that he was trying to make to actually breathe for himself. So we'd already inserted an advanced airway into Chris, and we were able to ventilate him using one of our intensive care ventilators that we carry on the air ambulance. But the most important thing we did was we actually sedated Chris. At that moment in time, his brain had been deprived of oxygen for about 27 minutes. And it was screaming out for oxygen, but he couldn't meet that demand. So by sedating Chris, we were able to target our ventilation and provide oxygen to the exact amount that he needed.
The last thing I remember was when I first got up in the morning at 6:30. My daughter was up for some reason, unusually, and I remember sitting in the living room with her, and that was 6:30. I don't remember anything else. I don't remember anything else for about 2 weeks. Just blank. So I was not only saved from knowing what actually happened to me at that stage, I was saved from the hours beforehand as well, which is just remarkable what the brain does.
Chris ultimately survived because of the efforts of the 999 team that came to help him, and that includes members of the public, the RNLI lifeguards, the ambulance service and ourselves. And really it's only by coming together as one big team and as a community coming together to actually help save Chris's life, that's the only reason he has survived.
They all did so much to save my life, and I couldn't be more grateful. But there's not enough for me to say. I am so lucky that I'm here.
Seeing Chris is really lovely. We've seen him a couple of times now since we first met him, and it's really nice to find out how he's progressing and the things that he's been able to do because he's around.
This is great to see him up and moving. When we saw him, he really wasn't. You get to someone and you're always like first aid. Oh, what's your name? We didn't even have that on the day. So to put a name now to the face and actually be able to chat with him, we've seen him a few times. It's really nice to see him.
The truth is, we're actually just feeling very grateful, not only for the nomination, but the fact that actually Chris is alive to even nominate us as a team. I mean, that's the part we're really grateful for. The fact that he is home with his family, the fact that he can spend time with them, the things he can do in life that he wants to achieve are still achievable.